I'm sorry if I'm absolutely busy days. Wednesday busy, today busy, yesterday busy. Big busy. Big busy. I'm not that big a boy. I can't handle that many busies. Even just doing Inktober. Daily video, Inktober, work. I had 2 appointments yesterday that I really did not want to do. Had to take care of my own dinner tonight. Dinner making is sometimes a bit of work. Big store walking to get myself Mario Odyssey. So far, what a slug man, but otherwise looks nice. I'm not... I don't have huge stamina when it comes to these things. I probably have better stamina walking than I do emotionally. It tends to be the opposite for most people. See, I have a problem with this statement. This gives the impression that Anna's, like, kind of okay with the... Like, wouldn't this, like, improve Anna's disposition regarding the government if, like, the human government is barely shit? I imagine that that's something Izumi left with them to make sure they wouldn't, like, go tribal, because it's implied they had several wars. When did those happen, and why? And why didn't Izumi... Nah, I guess she was already time traveling at that point. She probably didn't see too much. I mean, of course she wouldn't. She's like, her whole spiel is that she did something illegal. Why is it fake, though? Like, clearly there's no large armed forces. There's no massive military weapons development or anything. So whatever you dragons have been pulling off is not something you've been doing recently enough to develop... To have, like, an industrial military complex. I don't know, it's some reason that makes me think back of, the Elemental Workshop on RuneScape was one of my favorite quests. Because it was such a tangible quest, like, you got the earth out, you got the ore to the ground, you got the furnace and the fire, you had the whole water process. Something about that quest line I liked, because it really felt like you were doing something. It was such an involved quest, such a blue-collar work, and you got to see the shift of your labors, which was actually decent at the time, was not terrible. And then RuneScape happened. And everything became homogenized, and there's like, there goes special unique items that are bullshit. I'm pretty sure you're here, Anna, because you committed a federal crime! I don't think your opinions are matter. She keeps trying to sell it off as if it's like... I like this, though. it characterizes her that she's trying to sell you on the idea that it's not illegal, it's not unethical, it's just that other people are making a big deal of it. I like that. Play that angle up. Make Anna like she does it. And I like this. This gives her so much character, and it makes everything work better because it's a sort of a payoff to her persona. But there's no build-up to it. You can't have a climax without a build-up. You need foreplay. You need to set it up. You need to put down the scenery so that when she pulls out the skull and goes, Horasha! There's some deserving to it. Like, it feels like a reward. Instead, we just suddenly get this, I think the world is plastic speech. And it, like, I know that's kind of the point. It's like she goes all over the place. It would be nice if she elaborated on it a bit more. Like, she says, like, well, everyone does really fancy, but they're just fucking stupid. They don't know what they're thinking. Oh, I think maybe she did. It's been a long time. This translation is taking place over, it's gonna take up to a year. Because I'm just slow. I mean, the fact that their politicians are so much different. That like this is these kinds of details you need to focus on. The differences are exciting. The similarities are boring. If I pick up like here, if I pick up Mario Odyssey, Mario looks like all the human characters in the human city. Boring. Snore. But he's different. There's humans there who are human, and there's Mario who's human. And oh, like it makes you think. It sparks the mind. Not in a good way. That's a terrible example from a creative point of view. But it gets you thinking. It gets you on board with the idea of like, I want to see where this goes. But here it's like, That being said, it doesn't justify it all. It's like, why is there a photorealistic dinosaur here? That's also not real. Dinosaurs don't have scales. They're feathers, apparently. Mario, you can't do this. Although, I guess, technically speaking, you're not in the past, so I guess someone just made it. And then you can do the Jurassic Park thing. It's implied in Jurassic Park the reason they don't have feathers is they used some lizard crap to make up for the stuff they were missing. This sensation is a bit more free, but I wish I could take a few of mine and hit them around the ears with the truth so that they would act up, so they would act normal. I mean, you're a scientist, Anna, but that doesn't mean that you're not prone to, like, emotional responses to circumstances. Like, I was this close. The fact that you're still reliant on human technology implies that you were... Is she even going to continue with this? Like, are facts and truth really what she cares about if she's just going to be like, okay, this avenue I'm not going to bother with? Also, if dragons are so vastly different from humans, how the fuck is the political landscape going to look in a few years? Like, you have vastly different ideologies clashing. You have the knowledge that dragons are probably made by humans, and one person knows that. Like, holy crap, that's going to throw up everything. Everything's up in the air now. Like, that's why I think that the sequel should be an isolationist dragon colony of sorts. Because they can't stand humans. The vast majority of dragons are like, fuck them. Humans are weird. They take risks for no reason. Humans take this thing called a skateboard and they just fall down a whole bunch. And they're like, this is great. I can do a kickflip. And they spray paint things. Why are they doing that? Like, that's a great setup. Like, they don't like you. They don't want you. They think you're a rowdy monkey man. It's such a great setup because it's like you have to deal with prejudice instead of the pride you get here. Because here it's like everyone kind of wants you. Not played up enough as it should be, but it's immediate avenue for characters to have an angle. Like maybe someone like as long as you're just nice. Like some will take it personal, some will roof with a stereotype. Some you have to actively combat that. Like immediately you've got a good setup for every character and their personality to shine outwards. Like maybe the person who's nice really doesn't like humans. She's incredibly racist, but she's such a nice person that she doesn't want to be like that. And she's like, I want to be nice, but for some reason I just can't be nice to you. Like in my brain, deep inside, is this constant nagging that you're an asshole when you're not. And like, like that's great. And if you play into that, like that'd be fun. If like the way to solve her problem is if you're gonna do the time loop thing, one of the ways to solve her problem is to fuck up and get her right. And then she's like, wow, that is the most hollow experience I ever had. Getting this stereotype to be 100% true is not fun. It just makes me feel like an asshole because I'm happy that someone else is. And that experience you have to take with her and be like, listen, would you be happier if I was an asshole? It's sort of the question you gotta ask her. Or you could make that the answer, but you don't have to do the time loop thing. Instead, it's between several much more better answers. Like one of them is like, listen, being nice to people is just normal. Like, it's one of the answers, but it's not the most obvious answer to pick for the best ending. You know? You gotta have a couple of menu options. You really gotta do some writing to get that to work. But it has such an impact with, like, the real thing that flips her over is you actually being a dick. It's great. It's great. I mean, even science says that it only knows things within a statistical norm. Like, science isn't, I'm 100% true. It's like, in most circumstances, like, statistically speaking, it's unlikely I'm wrong. That's kind of what science is saying. Science is humbled like that. Science is a method that has established a system of facts that has, generally speaking, been quite useful compared to, I don't know, an engine that works on prayers, which works in Starfinder. There is a starship in Starfinder that is implied to work on prayer alone, which I find hilarious, because that's like, you've got the science engine, and you got these people who pray, and that somehow drives it. Can you imagine being that god? The god who pushes a starship forward. How bored do you have to be for that to be your goddamn domain? I'm the god of pushing things very far. Aren't I exciting? And that's true, because humans are very strange creatures. They somehow think that they can fabricate the truth. I mean, this statement doesn't make any sense, except for I think the sentence just captures the same thing, but it captures a bit more of a nuance to it. I know that I don't know everything for certain. It's a bit more of a general statement, like, I know this, but not 100% certain. I guess it's supposed to be a philosophical phrase, but I guess in Dutch it still doesn't work. Like, if you say, I know that I know nothing, it just sounds like you're being an idiot. It just sounds like you're being a fucking dumbass at that point. Probably because it's a lot snappier. I don't know. Maybe that other guy can help me out with that. Would they say that? Like, we say a lamp is burning. But dragons wouldn't say that, because they've never seen those older kind of lamps, have they? Maybe they have. Like, the way... I hate this. Izumi's way of explaining implies that A, dragons were given primitive tools and equipment and moved their way up, somehow inventing generators down the line, which makes no sense, or she gave them technology, meaning that the way she puts it is like, oh, it could be any amount of time, which tries to have it both ways when you really can't have it both ways, because the generators and the human technology stuff kind of implies she gave them everything right out of the get-go, or implanted, which would be weird. The problem with this is that Anna is an incredibly emotional person, which I guess is supposed to contrast with it. Like, that'd be cool if, like, she's an incredibly emotional scientist who's like, I can't believe my feeling was wrong. But that doesn't come up as much. It's like Anna just pretends. She's a Mary goddamn Sue in a weird way. Like, a lot of her characters, she's like, I'm great. There's nothing wrong with me, except my dubious morality. Like, she doesn't seem to be wanting to admit that she's wrong. And when she is, she tries to own it, but it's never explained if she actually owns it or if she sort of feels bad about it. Like, how can you be this disconnected from the world when she's right in the middle of it? Is this the transitional period in which Anna has to acknowledge her own humility, or what? Because the way she's mighty and lofty, despite clearly having neither of those, is kind of weird. Like, at this point, wouldn't she be more modest? Like, she's already been through the grinder. Wouldn't that already bring her down? Wouldn't she be trying to do something sneaky or, I don't know. Like, something about her character just doesn't feel like it fits well in this whole, like, everything about her feels wonky at this point. Which is weird, because everything before this kind of just gelled in a strange way. Ish. I really think I need to change these terms. These are not the proper terms for this, but... I like this one. You're one of the few. The one of the too few. The too few. It's great. No, that's a great one. That's a funny thing, is like, what is Reza's goal at this point? Why wasn't he sent back? Like, it's never explained why Reza was still here. Sure, maybe to oversee the job, but Reza was mostly sent as like the survival expert, just in case. Listen, I understand that you might want to have an escape plan, but considering how deep in enemy turf you are, if anything gonna go wrong, Rezo's not gonna save your fucking ass. You're gonna be dead, and Rezo's gonna be concerned with himself. Like, I feel that Rezo's continued presence after you arrive is kind of unnecessary. Like, his meeting should have been... Like, that would have been great if, like, someone says, like, well, actually, we were gonna send him back the next day, so this is very uncomfortable. We were supposed to send him back. Like, I know they don't do it because that would make humanity super fucking angry and all that, about the portal thing especially. But, you know... I guess it's to relieve the time pressure, but it's kind of weird. I'm not the best person to talk about this if you prefer to live. Just wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I think I'm gonna stop soon. I've done a good amount of lines, and I'm feeling better about things. And also, this date is not garbage! I like this. It's no longer the hot garbage that makes me angry. So I'm gonna stop on a high note. I'm feeling good about things. Woo! Still hate Inktober, though, draining the life out of me, but that might just be a combination of events. It might just be because everything is just weighing down heavily. Oh, I got stuff to do tomorrow, and there's that. What I need is a day where I can just lie face down in my bed, then get super guilty and work hard again. Because fun thing, when I take a day off, I feel super guilty about it no matter what. And that's when I work my hardest, is when I'm like, oh no, I've wasted so much time. Wah. Next time, more of Anna. We're making good progress. I don't think we're... How much further are we? Not that much further. I might clean this up next time, if this doesn't turn into a massive slog. So, try not to slog it up, lady.